It's time to become the best version of yourself and help others do the same. It's Monday morning and we're talking success.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be with you. My name's Greg Halliday. And as I look here at the live stream chat, looks like a lot of you are already there waiting. Congratulations for being there early. And I love all of your salutations. Good morning from all over the U.S. Love to hear from you. Love to see you here. And I actually like it. For those of you who have by your name, you got your picture in there. That's good. That's a little bonus. I'm one of those people. I like to see people when I'm talking to, especially the Soul family. So happy to be here with you. And we've got lots to do today. We've got a lot of celebrating to do. We're going to go through one of the success keys that is one of my favorites. They have to do with Soul Prime. And Soul Prime is something, it's an add-on, it's an extra. It's not part of the core compensation and recognition at Soul, but it is such a key to enjoyment and just joy in your Soul business. And I'll tell you why I say that in a minute. But we've got a lot to recognize today. I was just counting them up. We're like 40 or 50 people that have accomplished a great deal in the past month. That is in the month of April with the Soul Prime program. And that's such a great theme because Soul Prime is defined by what we do for someone else. That's really what defines our success. It's what other people have now accomplished in joining the Soul family and gaining access to the tools and resources that we all have at Soul. And I hope we don't ever take those for granted. These products and this community, they can make a huge difference, and they do that every day. We get the benefit. I do hear it in the office, in the central office at Soul, hearing so much that is going on everywhere. It's not that we hear everything, but we get to hear so much. And so kind of always in front of your face here in the office is all the good that people are doing and all the differences that you're doing is making in the lives of others. We get to hear these stories throughout the week, and it is a supercharger for me. It is why we do what we do. So Soul Prime, we're going to celebrate a little bit of that this morning. And keep chatting in, everyone, because we are going to give something away. I am very acutely aware that last time I was on, I did not give anything away. And I'll be honest with you, I just forgot. But I'm not going to forget today, because today we have to give away at the end. This is a good Soul sun hat. Okay, so there. Let's see if I can hold that so you can see it right. And a mat. I'm kind of calling today's gift the D3 connection, because we all need a little more D3. Good sunshine brings that to us. This will help you be out in the sunshine. This is a high quality beach mat, Soul branded. I love these. And padded, by the way. And then a high quality beach hat. So we're going to call it the cat. I was going to say the cat in the hat. It's the hat and the mat that we're going to give away today. So if you want the hat and the mat, you want to work on your D3, chat in and make sure you get on the list so that you're in the bowl that I draw from, all right? All right, so let's do some celebrating. Let's go to our success key, and the first one is called Primed Up. And why do we call it that? Because anyone who achieves Soul Prime during the month, they have set up their Soul business to have good experiences, because it means that they've at least helped 4 people during that month make their first journey into Soul Naturals with their first order. And the total of the orders meets a certain amount. It's a total of 500 in orders. That means each person did about a $125 order. Why do we care about that? Because your chances of making changes in your life go up if you will use a program of products. That's why we care about it. And if you use enough product, it's not just having the right nutrition that changes the course of your health, it's having enough of it. And so Primed is sort of structured to help someone who is sharing Soul, a brand specialist, take all the thought out of it, just help people come in and get yourself primed, and good things will happen for them and for you. And that's the whole secret, isn't it? That it is a win-win, that the good things happen for both parties. So I love the primed up success key. You can see the little image of the pump there. I like that because there's an old story about, I'm not going to tell it to you for the sake of time today, but you used to have to pump that handle to get the water flowing. And not only does it require a little bit of work to get the water flowing, but also the next person who comes along, it will be easier for them because you've primed it. In other words, you've helped them a little bit. And so there's both of these images in the Soul Prime Success Key. That of, a little bit of work to bring good things to others and myself, but also preparing and setting someone up who's new, who's joining Soul for the first time, so that they can have a successful experience. And it means both of these things is key. So this particular group of people are those who earned Prime in the month of April. And so let's go through them now one at a time. We're going to start off with Yadiel Diaz. Congrats, Yadiel. I've seen you on here before. Maria Lopez, not her first time either. Yamilka Perez Martinez. Yamilka is also Success Community, which means she's helped someone else receive Prime in their first 4 months so that they got the double benefit. And that's worthy of congratulations, Yamilka. Johnny Guerrero, congrats. You primed up this month. Eliza Endrek, congratulations, Eliza, and all those who work out of the office that you work out of in Murray, Utah. Genoveva Valencia, who I like to call the sonrisa in Spanish. It just means the great big smile. She has the best smile. And she helps people month in and month out. No surprise, she's Prime. Pat Alakim, I think I said it wrong. It's Alakim. Pat, once again, is Soul Prime. I'll tell you a little bit more about her in a second. Chris DeVilliers, congrats, Chris, on being primed up. Eduardo Lopez, congratulations. Anita Carpenter, we just recently met with her. She's there again, helping people get primed. And Jordana Espinosa, congrats, Jordana. By the way, Jordana is a new Soul Leader 5K. This month is her first month joining the ranks of Soul Leader, and she's also Prime. No surprise there. Congrats, Jordana. Dioselina Majares. Congrats, Dioselina. She is primed up this month, and we're going to circle back to her. Lydia Fantino, we're also going to circle back to Lydia. In fact, I'm going to, spoiler alert, Lydia is our guest this morning. And we're going to talk to Lydia about a few things that she does, not just her great and consistent success in Prime, but also something that I like to call Soul Rollons for the win, because Lydia knows how to involve Soul Rollons for the win. And for whose win? For the new people who are using them, and also for her. Okay, we'll talk with Lydia a little bit later. Orlando Nunez is primed up. Congrats, Orlando. He's on here a lot. Eric Patterson, going to circle back to Eric. This is not the only recognition he has earned today. Elizabeth Fernandez. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Alvaro and Nubia Medina. I call them the Medina Gente Fina because if you understand Spanish, they are some of the most quality people you'll ever meet, and no surprise, they're Prime again this month. Corinne Lott, congrats, consistent Corinne. Whenever I think of Corinne, I just see her smiling. I don't know what she does. She'll probably tell me I don't always smile, but you do whenever I see you, Corinne. Congrats, Corinne. Fabiola Sandoval, or Sandova, congratulations, Fabiola. And Gudelia Rojas, congratulations to you for being primed up. Angela Brzeski, I love Angela. Angela's often exercising the success key primed up. She shares soul with others. Connie Fehrenbach, who is new, and you know what? Fun fact about Connie, she's earned Prime every month since she's been new. Ana Cano, special shout out to Ana Cano because Ana, not only is she primed, she joined the Success Community this past month, which means she helped someone new in their first 4 months earn Prime or have this experience, which is the best way to help someone get off to a start. So congrats and welcome, Ana Cano, to the Success Community 2025. Valerie Bledsoe, congratulations to Valerie. She is a wonderful example and mentor to many, and and often she is on here. In fact, almost always, she's turning that primed up success key. Amanda Rivera, who you might know is a brand new 25K a couple months ago, she's right there, has not paused a bit in reaching that new height. She's continuing upward, and here she is, no surprise, primed up this month. Amanda, congratulations. Veronica Martinez, great to see your name there, Veronica. We've seen Veronica a number of times in the past. She's primed up again in April. Ana Laura Chavarria, congratulations, Ana Laura, for being prime in the month of April. Maribel E. Rosales, congratulations, Maribel. Sandy and Craig Hendrick, and by the way, they're new, the Hendricks, and have been prime all of the months so far since they joined Soul Naturals. That's the right way to get things started for the people you're helping and for yourself and soul. So congratulations to Sandy and Craig. Silvina Castañeda, congratulations, Silvina. Danielle Gianni, congratulations as well for being prime. Magali Hernandez, so good to see you there, Magali. That's not Magali's first time either. Congratulations. Anavet and Jesus Conde, another group of leaders. If you don't know them, so consistent, and what a big heart to work and share soul with others continuously. So they're once again prime. Margarita Landa Verde. Now, Margarita is the last one of this group. So that was a pretty big group, wasn't it? Lots of incredible people, lots of celebrating, and a big congratulations. I'm looking over at the chat board, and lots of party hats for y'all, and party favors and applause. That's well done. It means so much more than we maybe generally think that first step that people take in soul. It's why we put so much emphasis on it, because it can change everything. It really will change everything if you'll stick with it in your nutrition. Okay, now we've got the next group. We're still in the Soul Prime category, but now we've moved to Prime Mentor. This simply means I've helped someone else, someone that I personally mentored into Soul, achieve Prime. That's another skill, isn't it? That kind of support can mean everything. I can tell you, after almost 35 years in this industry and been able to observe it from a home office perspective, that is invaluable, to be the kind of mentor that gives that experience to someone else. Not everyone will receive it, right? We can offer it, and some will take it and others not. But I promise you, it's so rewarding. If you haven't gotten anyone yet to take you up on that offer to help them receive that prime experience, then don't give up, because it's totally worth it to enjoy that with them. So these are the people, they're celebrating the prime of the person they've mentored today, and we're going to celebrate them. I love the little image on this key. You've got, two hands clasping. This is somebody who is helping pull you along in a good direction with soul. So our prime mentors, Pat Alakim. Now, Pat, you should know, same thing. Since she's been in Soul, which isn't very many months, she has been prime every single month. And you can see she's also been a prime mentor, which means she's helping someone. And that's Craig and Sandra Hendricks, who she works closely with. She's helping them have that same experience. So shout out to you, Pat. I know you got a lot going on. Congrats on being a prime member and having that positive experience so early on and consistently. I promise that'll be something that definitely pays dividends for everyone. Eric Patterson. So now we circle back to Eric. Eric is the mentor of Pat. And I love the work that Eric's been doing with Pat and her team, coming in here in these last few months, helping them achieve Prime every single month during that first 4-month period where they get double pay. And so they've taken full advantage. I love that. What a great achievement. Something we can all do is make sure a person maximizes their first 4 months in Soul. It just gets so many things off on a good pathway. And look, once again, here we're back to Lydia, who also is a Prime mentor. She has done this a number of times. And here she is again, helping someone start their journey out the right way. So congrats to Lydia. We're going to have her on in just a second here. And then Dioselina Majares. Dioselina also is a Prime mentor and has been here before. And in fact, as we come to our final success key, now I think we've got one more here. Orlando Nunez. Congrats, Orlando. Also, you've been a Prime mentor before. Orlando's in the success community. And so you see that to be in the success community this year, it's simply helping someone be a Prime mentor, help someone earn Prime. And you're in the success community. So congrats to all of these. And we now come, oh, and then one last one, Yamilka Perez Martinez. She's also in the success community this year. And here she is again helping someone who she has mentored directly to earn Prime themselves. I love that. Congrats to all of you. Now we're going to come back to one final success key to do with Prime, and it's called Power Primed. This one is meant to be for those special occasions. Maybe you have an event. Maybe a person is joining Soul and they have a lot of personal contacts and they want to bring a large number of them in at a given time, specifically during 1 month, during the period of 1 month. And so these levels are much higher. There are 2 Power Prime levels. Just to remind you, there's the 16, the level where 16 people are joining Prime, joining Soul during the month, and 24. Those are the 2 Power Prime levels. So we have 2 that earn the 16 level, so that second highest level of Power Prime this month. And Lydia Fantino, who is one of our guests, who is our guest today, we're going to talk to her about why she's done this so often. Lydia has perhaps done the Power Prime level more than anyone else at Soul. I haven't gone back and looked at every month throughout the period of time, but I'm pretty certain that that Lydia has been there the most. That is not something she'll ever tell you. Not something that she has told me. I've just noticed it. And she's so consistent. So we're going to ask her a little bit about some of her secrets. What does she do to keep that constant outreach and so frequently have these months where she's up in the Power Prime levels? A big congratulations to Lydia. And we have a second one this month who was up in the Power Prime level. Both of them were in the 16 people who joined for the first time in the given month. And Dioselina Manjarres is the second one. So excited for you, Dioselina. Big things await. I know I've met Dioselina, and she is on a wonderful pathway doing the kinds of things that change people's lives. So congratulations to our 2 Power Prime winners this month, Lydia and Dioselina. All right, now let's jump to our guest today, Lydia Fantino. Lydia, thank you for coming on. This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last. I could have Lydia on 10 times, and I promise you wouldn't be bored ever, because there is so much that she does, and I don't want to embarrass you or make you blush here, Lydia. But for me, when you come on, I have to think, well, which thing are we going to talk about this time? Not just like your whole success. I'm like, which thing do we want to talk about? So I have 2 topics to ask you about today. First, before I jump in, because I sometimes get a little ahead of myself when I jump in too fast. How are you doing this morning?
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. Doing well.
Awesome. Well, you deserve to be doing well. You certainly always do so much to change lives for good. We see that here at Soul, and I don't know how much you hear it from people, but I want you to hear it again from us. We see that. It inspires us. Thank you for being such a wonderful light in the Soul family. Keep shining, because you know how to do it. So let me ask you, Lydia, first of all, on the Prime, because you're on there all the time. And once again, here you are at the Power Prime level. Do you have anything you'd like to share today? Because, about what makes those months special. Is there anything in particular you're planning in advance? Or how is that when you get into Power Prime, what are some of the things you attribute to you getting to that level in a certain month, like this past month in April?
I don't think it's a secret. We've talked about it a lot. It's just the constancy, how constant we are on follow-up, on staying with people, on getting out there, whether you use any type of social media, and I am not the professional at that, but TikTok has worked well for me. This is my third year on it, and this is when I'm seeing more of a booming. And so whether you use TikTok or Instagram or WhatsApp status, something where you're constantly sharing something with people so that they see you and they say, oh, what does she have to say today? Something about health. So give people something that they can use, something that's of value, and they'll always think of you when their health is concerned because they're seeing you every day. And if you give good follow-up to the people that you do connect with, then they will give you referrals. And that's really all it's been. Even when somebody comes and says, oh, I heard this product is good. Do you have something similar? The answer is yes, we do. Here it is, but I'd love to show you a 4-month program. So you always share something more complete with people, always, so that they always know that although you're giving them the answer to what they asked, there is something bigger to look at. And once they take a look at that, it'll always stay there in their mind. And in the future, when you least expect it, which is what happens, they'll reach out and say, hey, remember that program you told me about? I'm interested in it now. So
That's awesome. Okay,
that's
now I've
it.
got like 3 questions for you, Lydia. So your TikTok. So you post every day on TikTok?
Almost every day. Yes.
Almost every
now
day.
it's every day.
Okay, how long are your typical posts? That's another question.
So I learned quickly that short is what people like, because the comments to the long were clearly that's not working. Although you'll always have a field for both. You'll have a field for people or a niche for people who want a lot of information, others who are just, we live in a fast paced society. So now this year, they've all been under a minute, no more than a minute. And whatever I do in TikTok, I will bring to Instagram and Facebook. So if you follow me wherever, you're going to get those values. So
Okay,
1 minute. no
1
more.
minute. And are they all videos?
And they're all videos. People want to see your face.
Okay, and so are you generally doing like one health tip? I've seen a few. I'm not, some of these I've seen, but I want to just for the benefit of all of us here this morning, are they generally,
Yes.
do they ever mention
And
soul products, or is it mostly just health tip, health?
It's always health tips for like 5 days, and maybe once a week it'll be something about a particular product, or at least a little square in the conversation I'm having that prompts people to comment a word that will give them more information. And as you're listening to this, you're thinking, yeah, but I don't have your experience. And of course, we all have to start somewhere, but you can steal people's information. It's okay to do that here in Soul.
Yeah, you're not
anything
stealing
here-
soul. We'll give it to you, right? Right, Lydia? And
Yeah,
your
yeah, that's it.
information. Do you care if
steal
people
our
take
soul.
yours? Yeah, and Lydia, I'm sorry. I'm
steal our
sorry I
soul.
talked over you. Your information, though, that you post, do you care if people say, hey,
No.
I've seen, yeah, you can have it, right?
No, and
It's
you
not
don't
stealing
even-
because you're giving it.
Right. And you don't even have to give credit to that person unless that's important to you. But you're going to lose valuable time giving credit. So just own it. So, yeah, and I'll give you an example. Infertility is linked to kidneys that are out of balance. So even if you just share that, you don't have to say, oh, I heard that, or I read that, or so-and-so said. Just, hey, did you know that if you're battling infertility, it has to do with kidneys that are out of balance? And so now you can use that and put it on your social media post, wherever that is. So I get people that are hung up on, I don't have the years experience. Don't worry about that. Go listen to other people and grab little tidbits of them and come to your place, own it, share it, and that's all you're doing. And now now the question is, but then what do I do when I come back? When people come back and ask me, well, that's where your program comes in. Your mentor will have a program in place that you should be sharing as well. And now you can just say, oh yeah, here's the program that will help your body fix that so that this symptom is no longer there for you.
So I love that. That was one of the other questions I want to come back to is, we've talked about this a bit recently, the power for someone knowing that from the very, very start, you're talking about a consistency in a nutrition program and a full program that's months, not try a product or whatever. But hey, there's an option here. There's an option here that can really make a difference for you. You're talking 4 months. In the case of your system, it's a 4-month specific packages each of the 4 months. And I know we had Sue Friesen, who shared her story on the Soul Showcase. That was what changed Sue's life. Just so everybody know. I mean, Sue didn't mention it. She decided her mentor, who's not part of Lydia's group, like Lydia said, you can steal, I don't care, and knew about the 4-month program, said, hey, Sue, maybe this can make a difference. Sue owned it, like really did it. And Sue made her own change. And I love that. I love the principle of sharing little pieces, doing just a little consistent every day. But whenever you get any feedback, what I hear you saying, Lydia, whenever I get feedback, there somewhere in your follow-up, they know there's something bigger. There's something more out there. That's part of, is it part of the follow-up every single time? Or are there some times where you lead them along more slowly?
You meet people where they're at. So some people will welcome a health class you share with them every week. Some will want it once a month. If I have someone on a 4-month program, I'm following up on them the first 8 days consistently and then once a week with videos. So yeah, that will never change. Even if they don't want it, that's what they get because it's part of. And you really don't know what people want. You really don't know what people want. We don't know people. We only see what they let us see. So we always share a series of videos because when you least expect it, the one you least expect is the one that they come back and say, this is exactly what I was feeling today.
So true. We don't always know what we want until we see it. We can give an honest answer. And then later on, I get the third video or the third follow-up for you and I go, that's what I actually want or need. Yeah, I love that. Okay, we could go longer into this because it's so fascinating, but we need to jump. Let me see, how are we doing time-wise? Yeah, we got to go. Let's talk about what I'm calling is Soul Rollons for the win. Because one thing Lydia does, she works in the Rollons to her program. And I really to everything and has had so many phenomenal results. So Lydia, tell us a little bit about how you set it up and let's go from there. And we'll just talk for 5 or 10 minutes on that.
Okay, so my program, our team's program has aromatherapy built into each one of the months. We learned early on that was very important because we all face emotions. The problem is we don't all like the emotions. We should see emotions as friends. They are tour guides in our life. They come with us and they show us all the beautiful parts and protect us from all the negative areas. So when I feel fear, don't do that, right? That's what it tells me. It's my friend. When I have anger, it's also my friend because it says you're feeling it to protect yourself. Run away, back off, protect yourself from that. Even sadness, we think, how is sadness a friend? But sadness actually helps us cope with loss. And it actually helps us reflect on important values. So all your emotions are friends. We don't see them that way. We don't like them. They show up the wrong moment. We're working and we cannot deal with this emotion right now, so we put it away. We don't like the way it makes us feel. It makes us feel like a victim. It makes us feel less strong. I don't like the way that makes me feel. I don't have time for it because we're always so busy. So I'm going to put it away. And when I put it away, that's fine because that's what you had to do at that moment. But you have to learn to take it out at night. This program, health programs with Soul, when they incorporate oils, it's important to teach people, come in at night when you're using your oils, because you're using them in the morning and at night as a roll-on. You're applying it in the morning and at night. So come again and do your homework every night, I tell my group, and open these boxes. Okay, I didn't have time for you in the morning, but I have time for you now. This is me time. Everyone's put away, asleep, my time. And I pull out all these emotions and I say, okay, what triggered it? What made me feel this way? Why did this happen? Because if I don't do that, emotions, the word will say it, it's an energy in motion. If it doesn't move through your body the way it's designed to, then it will stay stuck in an organ. The thing with organs and emotions is they have vibrational frequencies and they like each other. And so your organ that has a certain vibrational, because sometimes we say, why does fear get stored in the kidneys? Why does anger get stored in the liver? Because the vibrational frequency of that organ matches that emotion. And so it will store itself in these organs, in this tissue, and it will weaken it. And as it weakens it, and you're exposed to everything else, toxins in the air, you ate wrong, bad food choices, you add more of it, a tsunami, I always say, and now that organ that was debilitated because of a hidden emotion now weakens more, and it's more, it's easier for it to get a toxin, have a diagnosis, and okay, now you have a urinary tract infection, or now you have whatever it is on that particular organ. You never associated with emotions. You would never know. But if you're using a program that always has the roll-ons, now your body knows when to help you release it. Your body will only help you release that when it's ready, when it's safe. And so you'll hear about people that use oils, and that didn't do anything for me the first month. But month 2, boy, I was crying, or I was mad, or I was having some emotion that I didn't like. My husband, when he went through this, said he had a lot of reactions. And so when I wanted to put him on it again, he said, wait, am I gonna get all mushy like I was before and crying? And I don't want that. But see, that's the way the body heals. Doesn't mean it'll happen again, but you have to give your body the tools it needs. And then you have to do the homework of sitting with those emotions, because sometimes the oils will do it on its own, even if you don't do the homework. But as you progress more in the program, you'll learn, okay, I don't just let it happen. I'm going to do homework. I'm going to get my oils, smell them, and then I'm going to ask myself things. I always tell people, if you are a spiritual person and you pray as you use the oils, and talk about what triggered it out loud so that you can figure it out. If not, meditate. If not, journal. Something that will help you connect with your emotions, because we have to make time for them, because energy and motion that doesn't move will stay stagnant and will make us sick. We depress emotions. That's where the word depression comes from, I say anyway. So we want to avoid all those things. And staying healthy means we're going to use this all the time in any program. I love that Soul did this. I love that Jennifer did this for us, because we don't have to do these anymore. I remember a time I used to do them, mix them myself. I have to say that even when I use Soul and mix the oils myself, the concentrated ones, I never got the reaction I'm getting and the results I'm getting from my clients as when I use this. So when someone comes to me and says, hey, I use doTERRA, or I use, all right, I said a name, or I use X oils, I always say, in this program, I will tell you, you want to use these. I'm going to tell you what you want to do. You want to use these because they're formulated with the products, and they will just open up for you differently. They will affect you differently.
That's awesome, Lydia. Yeah, by the products, you mean like for the other, in complement to the other Soul products, which are formulated in a mind and body balance. Okay, I have so many questions. I know we don't have enough time for all of them, but we'll meet again another time, because there's more detail. Whenever you have time, we'll work it out. But I want to ask you, okay, so morning and night, where do you have certain guidance on where to apply the roll-on? What's your guidance you typically give?
So I always say we do it behind the ear. We do it down the middle of our throat because it benefits the thyroid. Always say on the wrist so that you can breathe it in, and on the bottom of your feet because the largest pores are there. I understand that some people want to apply it specifically where the pain and discomfort is. You can do that, certainly. I think it's very it works with your mind, like, oh, my stomach hurts, and if I put it there, it's gonna work there. But I will tell you, no matter where you put this oil, if it's in the bottom of your feet and here, because you can't get to that other area that hurts because you're in public, your body is smart. It will use these oils to benefit the area affected.
Okay, that's awesome. And so morning and night.
Yes, morning and night. That's part of the program. The program is you leave it at your nightstand, you use it morning and night.
Uh-huh. And
There are times when people have reactions. So they'll feel like, oh, I'm so sad today, or I'm having a rash, or I have this horrible headache. Any reaction, I always say, any reaction on a 4-month program, during the 4 months program, which is just your startup. It's not that you're done after that, right? But any reaction, now you grab all your oils. That's why you buy the whole set the first month. Now you grab all your oils and you match them with the drink you're drinking. You're drinking the red and yellow drink in the morning. So whenever you drink those, you'll use the corresponding color. Jennifer made us an amazing little flyer that matches those colors to the drinks. And so now you use them for 3-4 days until that symptom or reaction you don't like that is happening actually subsides. And that gives your body a little extra. That's the only time we show people to switch up the use of the oils.
I love that. I wish we had time to do more. But I think you've given people plenty to meditate on. So as always, this will be recorded and posted. So you can go back. We can all go back and listen through once again what Lydia just shared with us. That's sharing based on years of use. I love, this is not, just a really good idea. It's actually experience. And so I do love, heard that from a few people in recent weeks, what a difference the oils made. And we thought we got to get Lydia on because they both used that technique. So thank you so much, Lydia. Now I have one final question for you, and then we do need to do our giveaway. Lydia will help us. She will help us with the giveaway tonight. Or it's not. Sorry, it's not night this morning. This is my question for. I always ask this of everybody, Lydia. So you have a lot of people, obviously, with all the Soul Prime happening last month. Lots of people starting their journey with Soul Naturals. To someone who's starting their journey, but whether they're a member or whether they're starting a journey as a specialist, what do you want to tell them today? What do you feel to share with them today, to someone who's starting their journey with Soul?
That's what a journey is. It's something you're always going to be on. Don't look at Soul as something that you're only going to take while you are uncomfortable. That's usually what brings you to Soul. You're uncomfortable. Once you feel wonderful, then it's become something preventive. I've been using natural products since I was 19 years old. And at that time, I did not have an issue. And throughout all my life until now, I've used it preventively because it's a journey. It's that idea of I am making deposits into my health bank so that when I do face something, because we all will, my body has where to pull from without depleting me. It's stronger. So if you are new to Soul, that's what you want to focus on. Look at this as a part of your life. It's like eating. This will be like eating because eating, we eat for nutrition and we don't have nutrition in what we eat. So this has to be our nutrition.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lydia. Great counsel. All right, so we're going to give away our hat and the mat. Okay. So the only requirement I have, I'm putting this on. All right, wait, this way. I got to go this way, right? It's who wore it best. Okay, so this is not going to be hard to beat me. I don't really look great in hats. But if you win this, you have to put this hat on, take a picture, and you got to send it to us so we can show it, okay? Because we're going to see who wore it best. And I'm going to be easy to beat. I made it a low bar for you. So this is the hat, this is the sun hat, and this is the mat, okay? We're going to give those away. They come together. They're a set, all right? So Lydia will help us, okay? I'm going to swish around the papers. When you tell me stop, Lydia, I will grab one, okay?
Stop.
All right. And well, look at that. Kristen Brunius. Lydia is your best friend. She just got you the hat and the mat. Kristen. Okay. Kristen Brunius wins. Congratulations. And thank you, everybody. Thanks, Lydia, so much for coming and sharing. Until next time. And congratulations to all of you Soul Prime Success Key winners. We will see you next week. Before I sign off today, mark your calendars for Tuesday, not tomorrow. Tuesday, May 20th. We will have part 3 Soul Showcase, where we'll have 3 more individuals share their transformational story with Soul Naturals, where they are now and where they were. So don't miss that. That's 6 p.m. on Tuesday. We'll live stream it here from the corporate office on May 20th. See you then, everybody.